What would make Disney World's most expensive hotel worth it for you? A huge list of amenities, awesome dining, close proximity to the Magic Kingdom. Or does a list of upscale offerings still not justify those super pricey prices? Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we're talking about all things Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. The Grand Floridian is one of the most luxurious resorts, if not the most luxurious resort on Disney World property. But with great luxury also comes great price tags. So today we're taking a closer look into Disney World's most expensive hotel to find out if its grandiose theming and exclusive offerings are going to be worth the investment for you and your family. Okay, now let's be real here. We've all been dreaming about staying at the Grand Floridian since Uncle Jesse serenaded Aunt Becky in its lobby on Full House. Now, Grand Floridian is a deluxe resort, meaning it's one of the Disney hotels with the most amenities, including access to fitness centers and spas, multiple transportation options, and lots of dining locations. This hotel gives an air of timeless Victorian elegance, from the color palette to the ornate fixtures. Now, some people think this looks like their grandma's house, but other people are really into it. Now, if you're looking to be serenaded by a pianist while lounging around the lobby, wish granted. You wanting intricate chandeliers dangling from the ceilings? Second wish achieved. You're needing a giant birdcage thing? I mean, like weird third wish, but whatever, you got that too. So all this high-class decor and ambiance means you're going to be staying at a hotel that's classy with a capital C. And that's great if that's the type of vibe you're looking for. This hotel is popular with adult guests celebrating special occasions like anniversaries and honeymoons and giant job promotions. But if you're looking for more of a fast-paced, kid-friendly, Mickey Mouse-shaped everything hotel for your family, then Grand Floridian might not fit the mood of the Disney vacation you're planning. You also might not vibe with this hotel if you're more of a person who likes the modern hotel styles that you can experience over at contemporary resorts. The Grand Floridian embraces its vintage, sophisticated style. Overall, the Grand Floridian caters to adults rather than kids sometimes, but it's still definitely a place you can stay with little ones if you choose to. There are still pools for kids to play in, special movies under the stars nights for them to watch, outdoor campfires for them to roast marshmallows around, and several other fun activities for them to participate in that I'll discuss more in depth later on. So if there's a situation where Grand Floridian is going to be the hotel you're choosing and you're afraid that the little one in your party isn't going to enjoy it because of the potentially stuffy atmosphere, well, don't worry about it. They'll be okay. It's just not going to be nearly as colorful and whimsical of an experience for them as it would be at, say, Disney's Art of Animation Resort. But they do have an Alice in Wonderland themed pool here that's really cool. So where exactly is Disney's Grand Floridian? Well, this is in the Magic Kingdom area, meaning it's basically within spitting distance of the park. Well, not really. Please don't spit that far. But it also hugs Seven Seas Lagoon, where you can watch that nightly electrical water pageant. Nice little perk there. It's an incredibly convenient location if Magic Kingdom is the park you're planning to spend the most time visiting. Plus, if you have kids that need to come back midday for a quick nap, or if Magic Kingdom's just getting a bit too busy for your liking, you'd rather spend some time by the pool in the afternoon, then it's really nice to have the ability to just pop back and forth from Magic Kingdom without all the transportation hassles. The Grand Floridian is also on the monorail loop, which connects guests to Magic Kingdom, Disney's Contemporary Resort, Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, and the Transportation and Ticket Center. Because the Magic Kingdom monorail is linked to the Transportation and Ticket Center, Grand Floridian guests also have real easy access to Epcot, since that's where Epcot's monorail line connects as well. While the Grand Floridian is undeniably close to Magic Kingdom, it's a very, very nice walk, by the way. It doesn't really have a location advantage in comparison to the other two monorail hotels. Just think of the Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, and the Polynesian as the three musketeers of the Magic Kingdom monorail line. All right, moving on to price tag. We're not going to sugarcoat this one. The Grand Floridian Resort is very expensive. It's not uncommon to see rates skyrocketing to $1,000 per night for a standard guest room. During the slow season, standard guest rooms can range between $750 and $980 per night on average. And if you're looking to stay in a club level, meaning a concierge, high level, you get access to a little club with a bunch of food and drinks in it and stuff, then you're going to pay between $900 and $1,400 per night, depending on your view, especially that fireworks view. If your family loves extra space and wants to stay in the Disney Vacation Club villas at this hotel, you're more than likely going to find yourself paying between $1,600 and $2,800 per night. You're probably thinking to yourself, wow, the Grand Floridian must be a life-changing hotel experience at that price. And honestly, it's nice, but I wouldn't call it jaw-droppingly life-changing. Realistically, the rooms kind of remind me of kind of a mid-priced Hilton. If you're really looking for true luxury during your Disney trip, there are options for you out there besides just the Grand Floridian. The Four Seasons Resort Orlando is on Disney World property, keeping you close to the parks and Disney Springs. This hotel will give you a feeling of secluded luxury while still being a quick ride away from all things Disney. And the Waldorf Astoria Orlando is another extravagant accommodation situated near Disney's Pop Century Resort, and is still considered an official Walt Disney World Resort hotel. These rooms will still cost hundreds to thousands per night, but with that hefty price tag, you'll receive access to dozens of 5-star amenities like private golf courses, a luxurious spa, and a poolside cabana service. And I'm not gonna lie, I find those hotels significantly more luxurious than any of Disney's deluxe resorts. But it's hard to put a price on being able to walk to the Magic Kingdom every day. All right, rooms and amenities. Yeah, those other hotels sound nice and all, AJ, you might be saying, but we're here to learn more about the Grand Floridian. What can the Grand Floridian do for us? Well, some perks of staying at the Grand include room service for any late night snacking, resort concierge, and access to the business center if you need it, just to name a few. Due to the idyllic location of the hotel, there are a few different options when it comes to the view that your room may have. You can choose from the theme park view, which is the priciest because that one will come with a nightly fireworks show, the lagoon view, and the garden view, which is the least expensive, but still lovely and still very expensive. The standard rooms can sleep up to 5 adults with your choice of king or queen-sized beds and a sleeper sofa to accommodate a 5th person. Side note, because I gotta ask, does anyone find the sleeper sofas comfy? I always make my kids sleep there, so I don't know. And the decorations in the room are pretty subdued with some elegant hidden Mickeys scattered here and there, but overall these rooms are, I don't know, literally looking around because I'm in one right now. And they're nice, they're classy, but they are kind of bland. Like vanilla ice cream. Delicious and indulgence, but it's still vanilla. Now, the Grand Floridian also offers club-level service. Now, this is the concierge thing I was talking about earlier. Guests can stay in club-level rooms or suites and gain access to additional amenities like 2 concierge lounges and complimentary snacks and drinks throughout the day. And some club-level rooms are located in the resort's main building, putting you closer to all the amenities like dining, transportation, and lobby service. Other club-level rooms are in an outer building, so you're going to end up slightly further away from those amenities. Just something to keep in mind while you're booking in case you want to make a room preference request. So let's talk about the villas for a second, those Disney Vacation Club villas, which anyone can book. I mentioned that they could be spacious, but how spacious? Well, the deluxe studios can sleep up to 5 adults and include a kitchenette with a small refrigerator. Those are basically the same as a standard room. There are also 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas for larger families with access to a personal washer-dryer setup. You'll also get extra seating areas, a balcony, and a full kitchen. Keep in mind that unless your room is in the main lobby building, you'll have to walk outside to access dining, shopping, transportation, and lobby services. But when you hear me say that right now, you might be thinking, meh, no biggie. But this distance can be pretty inconvenient if it's stormy outside. And this is Orlando we're talking about here, so odds of showers and thunderstorms at some point during your trip are pretty high. It can also be a pain if you've had your fill of walking for the day. A full day at Magic Kingdom is exhausting, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And if you're nearing the end of your Disney trip, you'll probably feel like you've had your fill of walking for life. So yes, those extra 5 minutes to get to your hotel room makes quite a difference in the end. Another downside of having a room near the lagoon is the sound of the boats crossing from the Transportation to Ticket Center to Magic Kingdom and back. If you've got light sleepers in your party, then it might not be worth it to spend the extra cash on the lagoon view if you'd rather be catching those Z's, because those boats start going pretty early in the morning. And speaking of, let's talk a little bit about transportation at the Grand. Aside from that bright and shining monorail, what other complimentary transportation options could you have at the Grand Floridian? After all, the monorail doesn't connect to Disney's Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, so how are you going to get to those parks? By taking a good old Disney bus, of course. Luxurious, right? It doesn't matter if you're staying at a value, moderate, or deluxe resort, a Disney bus will get you from point A to point B in the Disney bubble. But you may have to endure long wait times at the beginning and end of the park days. So if you're taking a shuttle over to, say, Hollywood Studios from the Grand Floridian and you're wanting to get there right when the park opens, make sure to get to the bus stop at least half an hour before you want to be there. But again, if Magic Kingdom is your go-to park, then the Grand Floridian will make things super easy for you. You can monorail over, walk over, or even take a boat across the Seven Seas Lagoon if you're looking for a more leisurely ride. Heading over to dining. So if the Grand Floridian Resort is so luxurious, do its food offerings reflect those hoity-toity vibes as well? Well, I'd say yes. Yes, they do. The Grand Floridian delivers when it comes to highly rated and high-class dining experiences. If you're looking to stay at a hotel that surrounds you with top-notch meals, then I'm sure the Grand would be more than happy to invite you to be their guest. That being said, you don't have to stay at a certain Disney hotel to have access to their restaurants. If you choose to, you can stay at one of Disney's all-star resorts for a tenth of the price and still come on over to the Grand Floridian for some fancy eats, as long as you make a reservation ahead of time. So let's break down all the offerings here. The quick service option at the Grand Floridian is Gasparilla Island Grill. I just ate there tonight. It's one of my favorites. It's got foods like Mickey waffles, sandwiches, salads, pizzas, burgers. And I know I just got done talking about all the fancy food there was here, but listen, you gotta have your run-of-the-mill food court items for your pickier eaters too, okay? Plus, Gasparilla Island Grill has one of my very favorite mac and cheese options on property. It is so good. Honestly, it's destination worthy. I'm not gonna lie, I've eaten it twice today. Now, when it comes to sit-down options, Citrico's is one of the formal dining choices, so this is where fancy food comes into play. The Citrico's menu features flavors native to Florida and influenced by Mediterranean cuisine as well. The restaurant was recently reimagined with themes inspired by Mary Poppins Returns, and it's super beautiful in there. But the update isn't in your face with the movie influences. Rather, the dining room is classy and chic with little details that pay tribute to the nanny of Cherry Tree Lane. You'll notice nuanced details like upside-down umbrella chandeliers, gates with blown leaves to reflect when Mary Poppins is first blown into the neighborhood, and robins and butterflies on the light fixtures, because a robin feathering his nest has very little time to rest. No, I'm not going to sing that, Bria. Now, the flavors here are Mediterranean-inspired and differ depending on the season you choose to visit. This is one of those market-inspired restaurants. Most signature restaurants in Disney can change their menu pretty regularly depending on what the chef wants to actually get that's in season. But that said, this menu doesn't actually change that much. Usually the primary things on the menu are pretty similar season to season. Now, some of the side dishes might change out and a few of the entrees might change, but you're always going to have that oak-fired filet, you're going to have a risotto, you're going to have a pasta dish, usually a chicken dish. They sometimes have ossobuco kind of stuff going on here. So that's basically the vibe. And if they have their incredible shrimp appetizer, I do recommend it. Now, you can experience an even more upscale wine and dine experience here if you book the sommelier room at Citrico's, which will provide you and your group with a more elevated wine assortment sourced by sommelier Israel Perez, who we love, and a unique menu of special creations created by Chef Andres Mendoza. Now, if you're already planning on staying at Grand, then you probably already know what you're in for here. But regardless of the Mary Poppins theming, Citrico's is not particularly catering to kids. If you're on a strict budget or traveling with a lot of little ones, then a table service restaurant with more character and color, like maybe Chef Mickey's at Disney's Contemporary Resort or Ohana at the Polynesian Village Resort, might align a little bit more with your group. That's not to say kids can't eat at Citrico's. I've seen many of them there. They might just get a little bored. Now, if you do have kids in your group and you're looking for a place to dine while you're staying at the Grand Floridian, 1900 Park Fair could be a better option for you. Major downside, it hasn't reopened yet from the 2020 pandemic closure. When it is open, 1900 Park Fair offers character dining ranging from the highly sophisticated yet oh so charming Mary Poppins herself to the less sophisticated and still oh so charming in a much different way, Lady Tremaine and the Ugly Stepsisters. In the past, 1900 Park Fair offered a buffet for breakfast and dinner, and we'll be sure to share the latest when Disney announces a reopening date for this experience. Another iconic Grand Floridian restaurant that has yet to reopen is Victoria and Albert's. It's a AAA 5-diamond restaurant, the only one in Central Florida, and is the most formal and exclusive dining experience in all of Walt Disney World. At Victoria and Albert's, you'll be able to dine in a high-class setting of your choosing, like the main dining room, the more intimate Victoria room, or the most intimate and uber-exclusive chef's table, which is only available to be booked by one group per evening. But no matter where you end up sitting here, the prefix and personalized menus are prepared daily with fresh ingredients and unique offerings in mind, served throughout the evening within 8 to 12 courses. Now, this restaurant is definitely not for kiddos. Kids under 10 are not allowed to dine here, so think of this location as more of a spot for a sophisticated date night, an anniversary celebration, or just a quiet night away from the parks. Brace yourself for the prices, though. Dinner at Victoria and Albert's will push you past the $300 threshold per person, so consider this more than likely a once-in-a-lifetime situation. For a much more casual meal, there's Grand Floridian Cafe. It's tucked away past the Sandy Cove Gifts and Sundries shop, and it's one of the more reasonably priced spots at the Grand Floridian. It's honestly really delicious as well. I'm not a huge fan of the decor. Talk about grandma's sitting room, but it's really good. Popular dishes here include the surf and turf burger and the chicken and waffle for brunch. I really like that. Reservations for this spot are regularly available too, so if you need a last-minute meal choice, take comfort in knowing we've enjoyed our time here in the past. And I know you will too. Now, if waterfront dining is your thing, Narcoossee's is going to nestle you right on top of Seven Seas Lagoon. Plus, it's got a gorgeous view of Cinderella Castle, so, bonus. This table service restaurant features a seafood-heavy menu, so this is a nice option for those who enjoy dishes like grilled scallops and an entire Maine lobster. They have a decent steak here. It is considered a signature restaurant, so it is going to be pricey, but it's a little less formal than Citrico's and a lot less formal than Victoria and Albert's. And think fancy beach restaurant for this one. Now, Beauty and the Beast fans will be thrilled to know there's an entire lounge themed after the classic Disney film. Enchanted Rose Lounge is filled with details influenced by Beauty and the Beast, from its numerous lounge rooms like the library, the garden, and the outdoor patio, to its floral-infused drinks like the Island Rose and Lavender Fog. This lounge is a little pricey, but the menu is stacked with yummy small plates like truffle fries and artisanal cheese boards, crab macaroni and cheese. And if a place is serving mac and cheese, I have to check it out because that's my job. No other reasons, totally no other reasons. And if you're traveling with a Beauty and the Beast fan but don't want the whole to-do of going to be our guest in Magic Kingdom, then Enchanted Rose is a good option you won't have to worry about a 60-day advanced dining reservation for. Maybe sipping on afternoon tea isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about a Disney World vacation, but then again, if you're staying at the Grand Floridian, maybe it is. At Garden View Tea Room, you can have a classy afternoon tea party to complement your high society stay. And though this tea room has yet to receive a reopening date, guests could previously enjoy a pot of tea along with finger sandwiches, scones, and several other desserts. Fingers crossed this place opens again soon. It's so much fun. Okay, moving on to the activities at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. You know that spa part of the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa? Yeah, that's not for nothing. The Grand Floridian features a full-service spa that includes services like massages, body treatments, manicures, and a hair salon. Overall, this spa isn't super extensive, and you'll more than likely have similar services back at your spas and salons at home. But if the main purpose of your Disney World trip is to relax and unwind, then you can book your time for the spa on the Disney World website. If you're vacationing with kiddos and you wind up staying at the Grand Floridian, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique has been available for Disney-inspired makeovers for kids in the past. Now, that service is still temporarily unavailable for all the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique locations, including the ones in Magic Kingdom and Disney Springs. So heads up on that, and we will let you know when those reopen. If you don't want to interrupt your gym routine on vacation, there's a health club available at the Grand Floridian. This is a 24-hour fitness center with cardio equipment, free weights, and other muscle-building machines to help you prioritize your fitness, as if walking 10 miles a day wasn't enough to fight off the Mickey pretzels, but we get it. If kicking back by the pool is more your speed, there are 2 pools to cool off by, Beach Pool and Courtyard Pool. Beach Pool is the resort's main pool, with a 181-foot-long water slide and a kiddie play area themed after Alice in Wonderland. Also has a really cool waterfall that you can walk under. The Courtyard Pool, however, has a quieter vibe and a relaxing hot tub. What, did you think a relaxing resort like Grand Floridian would skimp on the hot tub? Think again. For any of your poolside snacking and drinking needs, both pools have bars you can hit up. Their names are pretty on the nose. You've got the Beaches Pool Bar and Grill and the Courtyard Pool Bar, so you can probably match up which bar is associated with which pool pretty easily. Looking to sail the Seven Seas? No, literally, you can sail the Seven Seas Lagoon here when you were in a motorized boat for the afternoon. Pontoon boats seat up to 10 guests and cost $45 per half hour, but you can always add more time if no one else is waiting for a rental. These boats are first come, first serve. And if you want to kill some time while also taking photo booth pictures and racing cars on a virtual track, you can hit up the Arcadia Games for a spell. It's not exactly a place you want to invest a lot of time in, since these are the types of games you're going to find at your local arcades and pizza places back home, but they're still a great way to briefly entertain the kiddos and get some much-needed AC. There are also multiple shops inside the Grand Floridian, like Basin, an upscale soap shop that sells a variety of Disney-inspired bath bombs, bath salts, and hand scrubs, but you don't have to come here for these items. There's also a Basin at Disney Springs. And other shopping options include Curious or Clothiers, M. Mouse Mercantile, and Sandy Cove Gifts and Sundries. If you're traveling during the holidays, Christmas or Easter in particular, then you're in for a treat at this hotel. During Christmas time, the Grand Floridian is home to the iconic Disney World Gingerbread House. It's a life-size gingerbread house built each year and includes 1,050 pounds of honey, 700 pounds of chocolate, and 800 pounds of flour. In 2021, it received a special 50th anniversary makeover featuring blue and gold tinsel and a 50th anniversary sign. It's all made with real gingerbread and covered with little hidden Mickeys, so see how many you can find the next time you visit. While you search, you can also snack on some festive gingerbread treats sold from inside the gingerbread house, so check the gingerbread house menu during this season to see what you can order. For Easter, the Grand Floridian decorates with intricately decorated chocolate Easter eggs inspired by beloved films like Coco, 101 Dalmatians, and Mary Poppins. They are absolutely incredible works of art, just to name a few. So is it worth it? Now, we've covered a lot about what Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa has to offer, but at the end of the day, you've got to decide if those offerings are going to be worth the price that adds up to essentially a price equivalent to many people's house mortgages. If Magic Kingdom is your number one must-do crack of dawn until midnight park, then the proximity could be worth the splurge. If you're choosing the Grand Floridian specifically for the luxury aspect, there are definitely more luxurious options for similar prices, like the Four Seasons Resort and the Waldorf Astoria. There's also a Ritz-Carlton close by, though it's not on Disney property. Now, if you're visiting with kids, the Grand Floridian maybe isn't your best option unless, again, you want to have quick and easy access to the Magic Kingdom. That being said, there are other monorail resorts like the Polynesian Village and Disney's Contemporary with the same proximity benefits. Plus, those other two hotels have Disney-inspired elements directly in the rooms that are a little more prevalent than what you'll find at the Grand Floridian. The Contemporary has those brand new Incredibles-inspired rooms, and the Polynesian Village Resort has a lot of Moana going on in their rooms. And while the Grand Floridian does have a little bit of Alice in Wonderland, it's really not very prevalent. In the case that you're on an adults-only trip celebrating a special occasion like a honeymoon, anniversary, or baby moon, then the amenities, once they're all available again, might make it a great destination for a trip to remember, especially if you're into upscale dining experiences. When you take into consideration how little time is actually spent in your hotel room at Disney World, it's hard to stomach paying this many hundreds of dollars per night for just your accommodations without even factoring costs in for travel, park tickets, dining, and souvenirs. But Disney does offer special discounts all the time, even on its most deluxe stays. Stay tuned to DisneyFoodblog.com and DFB Guide, our YouTube channel, to keep an eye out for ways you might be able to save on your upcoming trip. So if you stayed at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort, do you think it was worth the money? What were some of the pros and cons for your family? We can't wait to hear from you because your experiences can help all of our other viewers make the best choices for their families. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.